Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. Good to have you with us. I hope you are in the mood for some great music, entertainment, great conversation, so much more, because that's what we do, and then some on our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. This is the Jim Masters Show live, 630 plus episodes and counting, just about 7 days a week for you here, coming from the United States, the East Coast, and the greater New York areas where we broadcast from. Between New York and Boston. I am your host. We always have a good time. We have viewers that watch live and they comment live. We call them the JMS Lovity Squad. If you'd like to comment live, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, so you can do that. That's exclusive for our subscribers. You can actually comment in chat while the show is live. And I think that's really cool. And it's a gift for all of our subscribers. If you'd like to also subscribe to the show so you can keep abreast of everything we're doing with all these great episodes, be sure and do that. We would love for you to do that. How do you do it? It's that red button you see right there on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Hit subscribe. There's no cost for that. That is free. It just lets us know that you enjoy our series. It helps support our series just by subscribing. Again, there's no cost, and click the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing episodes that we do day in and day out here. Again, it's about 630 episodes we've done with guests from all walks of life, and it's absolutely so cool. We have a lot of energy here, a lot of passion, a lot of enthusiasm. This is sort of an old school quality talk show, Johnny Carson, Dick Cavett, but with a modern vibe, modern twist of today. As I said, we got a lot of music coming your way with the Lord of the Cello. Yes, also in Sarek, Star Trek: The Next Generation, and a prolific musician. He's also deep in the world of sculpture. He's an artist as much as he is an award-winning and renowned cellist. Cello, as you guys know, is one of my favorite instruments on the planet. I have said multiple times that if there was ever an instrument that mimicked, or if the heart ever made an instrument musical sound, it would be the cello. I think the cello is probably an instrument that reflects the warmth of the heart. We've had those discussions actually with many of our musician guests here on the show, but I've been saying it for years. Whenever I hear a cello sound, it just really cuts to the core and stops traffic for me. And if the heart was ever to make a sound that sounded like a musical instrument, to me, the cello probably would be it, with its depth and that melancholy warmth that it has, and so much more. I see a lot of comments built up. Thanks, gang. It's so cool to have all of you here. We'll check in with our lovely audience. Keep the comments coming. Don't forget, I know you guys like to comment in chat. Be sure, and it really does help us, if you can comment on the YouTube channel as well, right underneath the episode, and give it a hearty like if you're enjoying this episode and all the episodes. We love having all of you here. Thanks for your love and support of our show and our series. It's a real pleasure when we get a chance to get together on our show, the Jim Masters Show live. Again, as I mentioned, Marston Smith is joining us live from his extraordinary studio at his home in Malibu, California. Marston's art, music, costume follow a theme of the glorious kingdom, and his performance searches for unique vision as it explores symbolism, story, and music, revealing and honoring the legacy of the mythical glorious kingdom. The Jimmy Page of cello, and the LA Times calls Marston the cello master blaster. His music is the embodiment of epic romanticism. Marston performs worldwide. He's done it on The Tonight Show, with Cirque du Soleil, international jazz festivals, Las Vegas casinos. He's also recorded with the Backstreet Boys, Kiss, Barry Manilow, Rod Stewart, Madonna, the Pointer Sisters, who were guests recently on the Jim Masters Show live. Also worked on all kinds of films, including Out of Africa, Officer and a Gentleman. He opened for the B-52s, Michael Bublé, and the Flaming Lips. Marston has performed for Rupert Murdoch, Tony Blair, Clinton, Schwarzenegger, and his corporate appearances include Google, eBay, Microsoft, Canadian National, Applied Materials, Intel, Toyota, General Mills, PGA, NFL, Universal, Seagram's, Warner Brothers, Disney, Fox, and so much more. He won the WCMA Instrumentalist of the Year. He has 30 CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, and his music plays a passionate tribute and pays a passionate tribute to his virtuosic capabilities and his vision. Bottom line, he's a legend. He's world renowned. That's why they call him Lord of the Cello. And again, he was also in Star Trek, The Next Generation. Yeah, proof of the pudding right there. Yes, Command Ensign in Sarek in the Star Trek, The Next Generation. There we go. Pretty cool, huh? So why don't you join me as together we welcome our very special guest, a legend in the musical world. And again, he's an incredible artist too. He's a phenomenal sculptist. He's really just incredible at everything he does. He's coming to us live and direct from Malibu, California. Let's welcome Marston Smith to the show. Marston, thanks so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here, and we welcome you, my friend.
All right. Great to be here.
Oh, I love that. What an intro.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that is so cool. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Tell us right off the bat the beautiful studio location that you're in. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I need a giant, bigger studio. These wings right here, they're upside down. I get them from the Ukraine, from a girl named Mac Wings. And so we're worried about that. I might not be able to get them back anymore. And then here I have my zombie slayer head dress for there. Up here is a bull that I'm sculpting for a client, like a city client. So it's public art. And then just different costumes, racks of it. And then I have a blue screen here so I can shoot video and all that kind of stuff.
That's so incredible because, again, as much as we know you with the music and your incredible, musical genius, you love sculpture and art of all kinds, right?
Yeah. I mean, I used to travel a lot, like a lot of corporate gigs. I'd be out a lot. And when I came home, I didn't want to play the cello.
Yeah.
And sculpting was just sort of a relaxing thing to do.
Yeah.
And it was a great hobby.
Yes, absolutely.
And now it's changed. It's changed for me. The studio work is a lot less, and corporate is kind of my market with costuming and things like that.
Tell us about that studio work. I was mentioning, probably to the great surprise of a lot of our viewers, the extraordinary studio work that you've been involved in over the years and some of the very impressive and notable talent you've had an opportunity to accompany as well. Tell us about all of that and how that started.
Well, I was just lucky to catch the end of this whole thing, because in disco era, everything had to have a bump, like these sort of bump and grinds and ins and outs, and the movies all had to have big pads, orchestral pads, and now it's really simple to do that with your Mac, or if you want an orchestra, you can hire an orchestra online in Macedonia for 30 guys for $30. It's like, what?
And they're in the basement. Yeah.
So it's all changed, the whole industry. And back in the 80s and the early 90s, it was really wonderful. Like I got a gig for Neal Diamond, the jazz singer.
Sure.
America, that whole deal. And they had the orchestra on stage. They had the orchestra in the studio, the string sections. We recorded the album live for the music, for the cameras. And so they paid us like triple, quadruple days. And and then they came up and said, we haven't made the movie with a script, so we don't know if Sir Laurence Olivier, is he the grandfather for Neal, and is Desi Arnaz his girlfriend or his sister. So they said take a week break and we'll write something and we'll write a script, because they've already shot for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it turned into 3 months, like 3 months of paying us all this triple money.
Yes.
And I bought a turbo Porsche that almost killed me.
Oh,
And anyway, that was
a
the
turbo
first.
Porsche. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in those days, like an 83 or something, it had no weight in the front. So the back, if you just touched it, the back would just do what it wanted to do. So I think everybody who had one, crashed, so,
But it was fun while it lasted, huh?
yeah. Yeah, I still have a Porsche, but I don't even drive it because I don't want to pay for it,
So you played on that Neal Diamond popular song that you're still here. They're
Yeah.
coming to America.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
fantastic
Yeah.
song. Wow. And Rod Stewart, Madonna, Barry Manilow, the Pointer Sisters, Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys, and on and on and on. I
Yeah.
mean, extraordinary. And all as the cellist, cello.
Sweetening. It's
Sweetening,
called
yeah.
sweetening,
Right.
for I mean, now we don't even think of it.
No.
We have a rhythm section, and you have the orchestra, or you have a string section,
Right.
depending on, even if it's a disco, even if it's a rock and roll song, you still have ballads that need the strings back then.
Right. Right.
And then I guess I got called in 1992 by Kurzweil. Kurzweil maybe is still a keyboard maker, but they made a sampling keyboard. So each note, they wanted a cello to be with vibrato or not vibrato, or staccato or pizzicato or whatever. So I spent like a week doing that with a couple of different cellos, with a old Italian cello and a new French cello, to give it these different timbres. And so I put us all out of business. So it was over. There was no more reason to hire us.
I've said it often. You probably heard me say it in the beginning that for me, whenever I hear the cello in any piece of music, accompanied by a full orchestra or just as a solo instrument, Christmas music, whatever it is, it really stops traffic for me. It cuts through ice for me. And I was saying this to a Juilliard grad on another TV news show that I do in New York, one of the professional things I do. And I said, I just have to throw this in. And how do you feel about this? You could, laugh it off, whatever. But I just want to throw this out to you. I said, for me, again, the same thing, the cello stops traffic. I said, and if the human heart ever made a sound that mimicked an instrument, for me, it would be that deep, warm, sort of melancholy, kind of authoritative yet warm sound of the cello would be the heart. And he said, makes total sense. He says, because the sound of the cello is actually one of the closest instruments and sound to the human voice, and that's why you're humanizing it and you're giving it a heart-centric feeling. Does that make sense from your perspective as the expert?
Totally. People cry when they hear the cello. It's like people would wear sunglasses if I'm playing outside, and people have something in their life that's bothering them. And so when they were children, their mother, pregnant, was probably watching soap operas. I mean, it's probably a generalization.
No, but my mother did.
In all the sad parts, you had cello, and in the orchestra string sections were just ripping your emotions. I mean, that's what happened.
And we had a lot of Christmas music, and still have a lot of Christmas music in the house that plays, and a lot of it, orchestral and everything that has instrumental and has the cello in it.
This is a 6-string electric cello. So I'm playing sort of in the. I don't know, that works. Yeah, so this one has a crazy range. It's like a bass E down here and
Beautiful.
a violin E here. So
what's happening to you when you're playing and you're hearing those sounds, and not just only hearing those sounds, but actually feeling the vibration almost go through your fingers and arms, through your body? What's happening to you as you're playing?
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
Yeah, you want the emotion, you want the you want to be inspired, so it's like, don't touch what you can't feel. Don't play the cello without feeling it. It's like that was kind of my teacher, Bernard Greenhouse, of like the Beaux-Arts trio I studied in New York at Stony Brook, and he would
Stony Brook, yeah,
he would teach there.
Long Island,
Yeah,
that's where I'm from originally.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
He had a house in Wellfleet.
Sure, yeah.
And his cello sold when he died for, I don't know, $6 million. But anyway, he played with such passion that he was, what's it called? The stepfather of my child. No, there's what's the Italian word for?
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Godfather.
The
friggin' Godfather.
The
Greenhouse. Yeah, and so it was pretty great. He bought my son Hampton. We named Hampton after Southampton.
Really? Out of
Oh my God, yeah.
Southampton, Long Island.
Yeah,
or as we say, the island.
There you go. Oh my God, and it was like the blizzard from hell. I mean, it was the worst blizzard. They moved the Arctic survival team from the
what
US
year was
Army.
This? It wasn't this blizzard of 78, was it? The big, huge one that stopped everything?
It was the 78, because 1976 I had my big concert in Santa Barbara. Yeah,
that was the big northeastern one that stopped traffic for weeks. Literally, everything was shut, and
there was no trucks that could move the roads. I lived in Port Jeff, and you couldn't even.
Port Jefferson, yes, sure,
yeah,
very familiar with all of that. Yeah,
right,
very, very cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I would drive Greenhouse to school, to university, because he had angina, I guess, so he had the nitro pills or whatever, and I would carry his cello, and it was really a wonderful experience in a way, to go to graduate school and just play cello, nothing else.
What is it about the cello for you early on, Marston, that really spoke to you? I mean, there's so many instruments to choose from, but the initial exposure to the cello, and what was the inspiration to take on the cello?
Well, part of it is the path of least resistance. You're in college at UC Santa Barbara, my undergrad, and we would play weddings, every Sunday afternoon or Saturday. And then we would do concerts. We had a band called Little EMO for what was it stand for? Electric Educational Media Organization. I guess that's what it was meant to be. And we would dress up in costumes, and I would always be the hero. So I was always the knight, and of course I've been doing that my whole life now since then, because it was so fun to be this character and be in be in character the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed it, and I kept doing it. And then when I got to Hollywood, it was sessions and sessions and sessions. And so I, you know, I evolved. I changed into a studio player, and then in the early 90s, it had disappeared.
Yeah.
And so I would go to Universal City Walk, and you could sign up and audition, and then you could play. And I would do street performances, and I still do some of those. I'm addicted to it because you can have hundreds of people, like
Hmm.
the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl in Pasadena has a flea market that surrounds the Rose Bowl and has 6 or 7 massive parking lots, and you can play and cover the entire park, and it's just a trip,
Yeah.
to play at volume and be in this character like you are a Highlander.
We actually have a couple of clips. Marston's going to play live for us. We have lots of music for you too, and clips and all kinds of cool stuff. And we'll talk more about your epic career projects you're working on, and also, again, some of the amazing people you've had an opportunity to work with. Did you ever also get involved, before we show one of the videos here, with any of the orchestras like the Henry Mancini's or any of the others that were doing sort of that instrumental, easy listening music? Because I know a lot of session musicians also would go into the studios, and since a lot of that was instrumental, they would be brought in to, okay, we're going to do a popular version of this song, or we're going to do this standard on the next Mancini album, or whatever it is. Any of that kind of work as well over the years?
Well, records. You're
Yeah.
talking about, records was a different contractor. The contractors for the studios would be usually paid by the studios and have a regular job, like at MGM and Sandy Crescent at Universal Studios, and the record dates were really interesting. The guy that got me on the Jazz Singer with Neal Diamond, that was a older guy named Sid Sharp, and he did a lot of. He was like the king of records. But then there was a crazy fun guy named Charles Veal, and he was a black violinist. Oh shoot! I thought I turned that off. But I don't know what
Welcome
that
to
is.
technology and the new world, right?
Yeah, I don't even know how to turn off my phone.
Forget about all the studios and everything else. Right. He's played with the best of them, folks, but when it comes to handling that darn cell phone, forget it.
Right.
That's what happens. Happens to us all.
So, gosh, what happened? Oh, so where was I?
So you're talking about the
so Charles Veal.
and
So Charles Veal was a friend of mine, a violinist, and I guess the drummer of Earth, Wind and Fire. They were making an album in Hollywood, and he died. And so they said, where's a brother that that can make the arrangements? And so Charles, they called up the University USC, and they hired Charles to write all the charts for the next few records of Earth, Wind and Fire. And so suddenly he was huge, because here he was, a young, talented violinist and a writer, and he booked all sorts of Motown sessions. We worked for Berry Gordy, for years after that, and then oh God, what happened? We even worked for Louis Farrakhan. So Charles.
Oh, you did, really? Yeah.
Oh my God, Louis learned to play the violin. And he wanted to do all the Beethoven violin concertos. And so we recorded all those for him, with him. And so that was a crazy time, that sessions. Yeah.
I
But
guess she agrees.
yeah.
They're saying, yeah.
I don't try to figure out how to turn this off. I
Isn't
I'm
that funny?
I have a story going on. I'm working.
Yeah, I'm live international on the Jim
Right.
Masters show. Put on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and watch and subscribe
Yeah, Jim Masters. Yeah.
on YouTube
Right.
right now live. Subscribe and give us a like.
Yeah, so that was kind of a bit of gosh, what else was happening in those days?
Mm.
What was your question? Like how
How
did
you
the
were, did you get
with
involved with any of
records?
those? Yeah, and those Henry Mancini style orchestras and
Never
also commercial work too. Ever do background for commercials, things of that nature too?
yeah, commercials, but they often didn't use big orchestras,
Right.
or big string sections. It's hard to remember, but you know, tons of records with, Dolly Parton and uh,
Rod
just
Stewart and
yeah, Rod Stewart and just hundreds of those, and probably 300 movies and 500 albums. It was just everything would come in, and you just play maybe one song. You would just do that in a 3-hour session, and maybe you double it and they'd pay you double, or you triple it and they'd pay you triple. So
so it's interesting because, it is like it's a gig, it's a project, it's income, it's
mhm,
work, it's you doing what you do so well.
mhm,
Are there, it's probably hard to pick and choose out of these hundreds of albums and all these major people you've worked with and all these movies you've been a part of musically, but are there a few that really stand out that are your personal favorites to have been involved in? Like whenever you hear it or you see it on the screen or you hear it played, that was just a pure joy to be a part of that, meaning
mhm,
where it's not so much that it was the gig, we did it, we moved on, that you're
mhm,
just so blessed and honored to have been a part of that project, movie,
mhm.
working with that talent, whatever it may be. I'm sure there's many.
Well, the record dates, you're under the gun. You have to read the chart, you play it, you do it again, and it's gone. You'll never hear it again. And then you try the next part of the music or the next tune, and then you zip off to the next date. So the the uh, the recording studio work, especially for a session player, is not memorable. But the memorable parts are when I would do a show like that Michael Bublé show in Vegas at the
Oh yeah.
MGM. I think it was at the MGM, and Muhammad Ali was there, and
Wow.
the two the German lion tamers,
Oh
and
yes.
I guess the one guy was in a wheelchair, and
Yes.
it was a benefit for sort of maybe the brain, maybe raising money for
For
some
brain
noble cause,
injuries and
brain
things.
injury.
Yeah,
And so
sure.
Michael Bublé,
Is that
yeah,
Siegfried and Roy?
Siegfried and Roy, yeah,
Siegfried and Roy, yes.
yeah. And so they had me play Bittersweet Symphony in my armor, and I had two I had ballerinas, a male and a
Yeah,
female, doing a ballet around
yeah.
the stage, and it was just the most beautiful. I mean, these were the greatest dancers in the world.
Mm,
That's what they ended up with. It was
wow.
something like that is just really outrageously fun.
So
Or
the
the
live shows, yeah.
yeah, and then the worst things would be the Liz Taylor's wedding at Michael's Ranch and Never
You were
Neverland.
playing at Liz Taylor's wedding at the Never Neverland, Michael Jackson's wedding?
Yeah,
What was that like?
that was pretty.
And
That
did you go
was
on any carnival rides?
Oh, if I wrote an article, it would have been the wedding from hell. Yeah, no, it was just hell for the musicians because I think they get ripped off so much by the help, you know, that that we had Israeli. They called Assad, is that the Secret Service for the? So they spoke not Yiddish, Hebrew or something, right?
Yeah.
So they were
Yeah.
speaking Hebrew that
Yeah.
sounds like German, right? And they're
Right.
on, and I had my own guy. So
Sure.
of course I had a Minex camera, duct taped to my,
Yeah.
but if I'd gotten the photo, it could have been $100,000.
Oh, that would have
Right.
been, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But so they radiated our cases, so if there was any film in your cases, that was destroyed.
It was destroyed.
Yeah. And then they put us in a room for hours. We had the whole band, and I was part of the band. I mean, we played, yeah. And we had an opera singer, and so they stuck us all in this room, and it was pretty bizarre. It was like
Not the norm. Not the norm.
right. It had stainless steel walls, and it had these like operating tables, stainless steel tables, and we just put our instrument cases on these things.
Tables.
And then we noticed all these cords and tubes and apparatuses on the walls, and so it was
That's a little strange.
yeah, we figured it to be an enema, like a group enema thing. So it's very weird.
That's quite interesting.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
And then the restroom didn't have any doors, so if I went in, I couldn't. I could never get my camera because my guard walked with me the entire way. So it was very bizarre that I couldn't even get my camera out.
I would imagine being in that enema room, that must have bowled you over.
Yeah, because I had practiced.
Literally.
I had practiced with this camera, and I had it so I could bow the cello,
Right.
and I could snap photos.
Yeah, right.
So,
as you're doing it,
yeah. Yeah, and it was just a.
So that was a memorable.
But
so
it was,
being with Michael Bublé was one on this side of the scale, and then the Liz Taylor wedding at the Michael Jackson Ranch was.
Oh, but there was no food for 10 hours.
No food either.
Yeah, not even Cokes, not even drinks.
Wow, not even.
We could maybe find another guy that was there, or the singer, but
oh boy.
So no one brought music, and the opera singer didn't know. Oh gosh, what did she do? Ave Maria. So we played Besame Mucho.
Yeah.
Bum bum bum. Ave Ave Maria, to like Black Orpheus or something. It was just ridiculous.
I wanted to share some music here. We have, of course, how did the name or the term Lord of the Cello develop for you? We got Pachelbel here by Lord of the Cello. We'll show that in just a second. But
right.
How did Lord of the Cello happen?
I mean, I was playing something furiously at the at the farm. What's it called? The Village Fest in Palm Springs, and I had a house there, and so I would come and play every other Thursday night, and it's full of tourists, like what do they call them that come out of Canada? They're like birds.
Snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
They do that on the East Coast too.
Yeah.
When they go to Florida, they're 6 months down in Florida, and then when it's winter, so now the Northerners are in Florida. Although it's like 30 degrees in Florida right now, they're having a cold spell. And then they come up in the summer, they get away from the Florida heat. They come up back north. Snowbirds.
Right. Exactly. And they were just biggest fans, and they come during the highest season. That's the highest season because it's not the summers that are 112 degrees. No, they come during the after Christmas for the 2 months there. And some and I don't know if I was in armor, some kid along, and he goes, "Who do you think you are? The Lord of the Cello. Because there was the
That
Lord of
was
the Dance. That was
yeah, right,
big
exactly. Yes,
30 years
Michael
ago.
Flatley, Riverdance, all of
Right,
that.
right, yeah.
Yes.
And I would tell people that he was my brother. We were twins. I'm a foot higher, and I'm,
Foot higher.
and we both were given lordships.
Oh, he must have
Like
loved
they
that.
handed out the lordships, and so
Lord of the
I bought the .com the next day, and then surprisingly enough, this started a role in my career. A Russian supermodel came up to me, and I just had finished a gig, and I was at the W Hotel, and I was at the bar, and a Russian supermodel comes up and goes, "Are you the guy with the yellow Lamborghini?" I don't know how to say a Russian accent. "Are you the guy with the yellow Lamborghini?" I bought that .com the next day.
You
So
put that down.
I have a whole series of these. Some of them don't turn out very well, but
So it's the kid that actually, and it's stuck with you, and you really are. I mean, and knowing your work, and I've known about you way before we invited you to pop on as a guest, and you were introduced to our show. You are extraordinary and legendary in the industry, not just because of you working with so many major people, but also just from your extreme talent as well. Let's talk about the Lord of the Cello doing his darndest with Pachelbel here with this clip we've got.
Oh, don't play it all, but yeah, it's short, right?
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
All right.
Is there a backstory to this? Anything visually we need to see?
Is
Or just
this,
play it and we'll talk about it after? You want to surprise them?
Yeah, this is surprising.
All right. Well, we'll surprise you guys. Get ready to see our very special guest in action. And then we will continue with our conversation here on the show. And I hope you guys are having a good time. And don't forget to leave a comment on our YouTube channel as well. Here we go. Lord of the Cello. That's so beautiful. That's really.
That was 3 cellos, a pizzicato cello, a one playing the chord line, and one playing the lead line.
So how is that happening for our audience? Is any of it pre-recorded and happening at the same time, or
I made in 5 minutes?
That you did in 5 minutes?
Yeah, it took me 20 minutes to put the armor on.
Yeah.
And probably 5 minutes to convince Heidi, my wife, to come out and shoot me on a cell phone.
To do. Well, I mean, we've got evidence of you doing some absolutely extraordinary things. And I mean, because in addition to cello, you also are a sculptor and costumes as well, which is extraordinary. This is cool.
I got really into the zombie idea, and so I decided to do a zombie show. And so this is zombie armor. So there's the female slayer, and I'm sort of a Master Chief, half predator type, and I have these tusks, but I can pull the helmet off and throw it up in the air, and it has these what do they call them? Cyber locks.
Yes.
And they just blow in the wind. It's really exciting to play.
That is really, really cool. Look at this.
Yeah, there's another picture of it at a Burbank International Film Festival. Yeah.
And here's a shot of what we just saw. Tell us about
Yeah.
that outfit. That's cool too.
Yeah, Tony Swatton is the guy who made the armor. He made the armor for Gladiator, for the hook for Captain Hook. He does all the studio props for weapons and armor.
Very
So he
cool.
made that breastplate, and then he added a shoulder. So that kind of would be like Renaissance parade armor, because the shoulder would happen for another few hundred years. So,
Right.
but in the Renaissance, people would, the mayor would ride in the town
Yeah.
wearing armor, but it's in the year, it's in the 1600s or past the armor period.
Very
And so
cool.
then it's a Herpopulite helmet or a Spartan helmet that's just, you wear it most of the time back like that.
Yeah.
And then that's one of those wings. I usually give these to my stilt walkers. I didn't have the gold wings. I have those now. And that's why, and this is from the wings from the Ukraine.
That's the one you were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So,
And so now I have the gold ones now that go with the armor.
So basically, your wife and your cello are the wind beneath your wings.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
right? They provide. They are
exactly.
your blessing and your joy in life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also heard that the electric cellist grew a pair, and we have evidence of that. Here it is.
Right.
That's incredible. That is
Yeah, that was
so
pretty fun. That was
incredible.
Heidi. That was my wife, Heidi, on the harpsichord.
Yeah.
And that dancer was actually a guy named Don McLeod. And he'd be a great guy on the show too. He was a stunt man, and he was the gorillas in all the movies. He has a gorilla outfit that is animatronics and all the eyes and lips, and
Yeah.
I think it cost I don't know, $500,000.
Mm.
And I shot that, just what you saw, that with this 360 camera, that video.
Yeah.
So with all those movements,
Yeah.
it all comes out of this little thing.
Wait. That it's out of that. What's in your hand?
That's it. It's sitting in front of my fan that's blowing my hair. This is Insta 360 1X2.
Where did you shoot that? Was it at a?
It was sitting.
I mean, in your house?
No, at the show. At that show.
Oh, at the show. Okay, yeah.
At the show, that was at the Mission Inn in Riverside, which is an amazing place.
Fantastic.
It was made in like 1880 or something crazy, and it's a palace, a Spanish palace.
Phenomenal.
And so there was 300 people there for Tiffany's birthday, a friend of mine, and all dressed in Venetian masks, and so it was a Venetian masked ball. But this little camera, so its microphone is very tiny, so it's not good audio, but it's brilliant 5.7K video.
Unbelievable. Now that makes me think that you've also worked with Cirque du Soleil as well. Tell us about that. I can easily see that.
Well, that's corporate. Cirque du Soleil pays $100 a day every day, but you eat Cirque food, you sleep in Cirque beds. So it's you have to be ready for that kind of a lifestyle. And
so what is it? What is Cirque food and Cirque beds? For those of us who have not experienced either.
Well, no. So
for $100 a day.
I'm an outside. Yeah, I'm an outsider. So it's like I am hired by the client, General Motors or Toyota or whatever it is, to play the cocktail hour or do a show. Like, let's say there's a big electronic show, and the opening of the show, I play on stage the opening before the president comes out and says something, or I'll play for Pioneer Chicken, and I'll go to the convention center in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, or New York City, and I'll play the cello for the big opening. And then my friend John O'Hurley, who I have I have 3 albums with John. He plays piano, the actor, and so that was a lot of fun doing gigs with him, because he does that all over the country. I mean, he's Mr. Alaska, with the airlines. He's Mr. Telecommunications. He's
I've done a lot of those projects in New York, brought in as the voice of God announcer.
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our program will begin in just a moment. That kind of thing for corporate and all. And like you say, usually there is this incredible instrumental music and very motivating music that sort of gets the energy of everybody going as the CEO comes down the stairs and all the slideshows and lights are happening. And it's cool stuff.
A little bit of flash, like you go to a really fine 2 Michelin stars. If you go to that, what's that restaurant in California up north, the French Laundry. If you go to the French Laundry, Thomas Keller, he has 2 or 3 Michelin stars. You're gonna you sit down and something crazy, insane, garlic and sugar and eyeballs, you're gonna eat that, And that's what
Yeah.
I'm the eyeballs of
And
the
ours,
centerpiece.
the ones I've been to, where I've been the voice of God announcer at those conventions and corporate things, have been usually they have them in Manhattan at very high-end, beautiful hotels in the big
Mhm.
conference center within, the Saint this and Saint that.
Right.
Really, really fantastic, when you get a chance to be a part of those kinds of things like you have as well. But
Yeah.
you've really made great use of your talent with all the different arenas and areas that you've had an opportunity to work in, which I think is really, really cool. We have another video here too that we want to share. More music, gang, for all of you, and everybody's commenting. And thanks for all these great comments, folks. We are happy that you guys are enjoying all of this. Now, that was the electric cellist grew repair, the one that we just aired.
What was that?
That's what it had. That's how it's listed.
Okay.
Or at least that's how it was sent to us. It says
Okay.
electric cellist grew repair. Okay. The one that you
Oh,
just
yeah.
did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said that as kind of a tongue in cheek.
I was
Okay.
going to say, okay. Yeah. Now this is where the Spartan climbs the mountain. Lord of the Cello. Tell us
All
about
right,
this.
Right. Okay. So I have a little stick, a black little stick, and I have that camera on the end. So in my sword hand, I filmed the whole thing.
So you're filming it as you're doing it too, which is really incredible. Let's climb the mountain with Lord of the Cello right here on the Jim Master Show Live. Lots more to come, folks. Thanks for being with us. Our special guest is the renowned Marston Smith. Very cool. Very cool. It's almost, amazing how you're able to do that, because it's almost like it was a drone or something that was sent in to get those shots. Really, really cool, huh?
Yeah.
So you have a lot of fun doing those.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
could do one every week.
Yeah.
It's a hassle because
A lot of
put
work.
on the costume and then get the camera to work and get your gear. It's really it's an ordeal to be the cameraman and the actor and get
Yes.
dressed.
Right. Exactly. Yes, absolutely. It really, really is.
Mhm.
Did you want to play something for us as well while you're
We'll try
there?
it. We'll try it.
Love it.
Oh, but what are the other? Do you have other videos that you're going to play? I want to make sure I don't play the same song.
I'm trying to check to see what we have listed
Well, I'll just
here. Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah,
play a little bit of this.
Yeah,
I don't know,
absolutely.
just a couple of minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. However long you want. Yeah. We're enjoying it. Everybody's commenting. They're loving it.
Let me see which
Absolutely.
one is this. Okay. Oh, this is called Viking Voyage.
That is really
Yeah.
beautiful. That is really so when you
Mm.
it sounds like you have so much fun doing it and it's just going through you. What, like I was saying
Mhm.
before, you're having a ball doing it because it's automatic for you, but what's happening to you? I mean, you're transported to another time and place, Marston, as you're doing it. I can only imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you know, you can be, if you walk like a duck, you sound like a duck, you are a duck. So that's I don't know if I'm the hero, like if I put on my Highlander outfit, if I put on my apocalyptic outfit, I can be that guy. I can be this hero, and it helps me. It facilitates. I'm not speaking language. I'm speaking this music, and
Yeah.
the music has to be fully immersible for
Yes.
me, and then I'm searching for those moments of just like pure inspiration or a feeling
Yeah.
that comes uh this zone thing, know.
Getting in this, you're in the
Yes,
zone, right?
yeah. But
Yeah.
I want pure inspiration. That's kind of my search for.
Yeah.
People tell me there's all these South American drugs and mushrooms, and there's sort of a touchy-feely movement here in Southern California.
Yes.
We have neighbors. You know, we have a Airbnb at our house, and we have beautiful people come, and they're going to do this procedure that lasts all night and all
Yeah.
day.
Yes.
And I think they're searching for the same thing I'm searching.
Yeah. Which is what? Do you know? Or does that change?
Well, some sort of transitional thing where
Yeah.
it's not real life. It's not like
Right.
a breathing. I'm now
Yeah.
beyond that.
You've gone beyond the day-to-day reality of
Mm-hmm.
living, right? And you're transported to another. I love that. Music can really, really do that. That's one of the things I use music for. I've mentioned it a few times on my show. In early school, when I was a kid, I studied violin, and I've since taken guitar. I've done some piano, but I often say, I don't smoke, but I've often said that music for me is my cigarette. For me, music
Mm-hmm.
has so many different, it isn't just background sort of filler, although it can fill a room beautifully when you're having people over, and it can fill in the dead points. It can fill in the pauses in the conversation. There's so many incredible things you could do with music, but it's so healing. And for me, it does sweep me up, and I want it to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this makes any sense as well. I also love a lot of times people love when music comes at them, meaning they're in front of the source of music and the music is coming at them. I really love when I have music coming from behind me, whether the stereo system or the speakers or whatever
Mhm.
is going on behind me and it's sort of like sweeping over me. Does that make sense too, in a way?
Yeah, yeah. I see people's. You want to feel it fully, so you want the air volume of the speakers to actually massage you. um, that's part of it too. I have to save my ears, so it's like
Yeah.
I have to figure that one out all the
That
time,
one you got to do. Yes.
because
Radio
I don't.
DJs too, years and
Yeah.
years of uh, a lot of radio DJs. I've done a lot of radio as well. And,
Mhm,
I learned myself over the years to rotate it and take one headphone off and have
mhm,
one headphone on and then to switch it, because a lot of the
mm,
radio people, as time goes on, their hearing starts to
mhm,
dissipate. And usually if you're coming into this, if you're the next person in the studio to go on the air
mhm,
to do your show, and the last person is hard of
mhm.
hearing, and you plug in those headphones and put on the
Yeah,
boom. Oh my God.
right,
So you got to
right.
learn to.
I have engineers like Phil Marshall, whose father was Jack Marshall, one of those the number one guitar player in the studios.
Oh, yes.
So the Wrecking Crew, is that what it's called? The
Oh,
Wrecking
yeah.
Crew,
Oh, yes. That's
and
right.
a-
Yes.
and uh, and his brother is Frank Marshall, the producer of E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
Phil's a film composer, and he plays the playback so quietly
Yeah.
that you can barely hear
Really
it.
hear it. Yeah.
And just to save his ears,
Just to save the ears.
and he has speakers, so you have to write music that sounds good on earbuds, but
Hmm.
also in other things, small on
Absolutely.
computers and all that kind of stuff too.
We have another clip here. Electric cellist finds himself in Zombie Oblivion, original song by Marston Smith,
Oh,
Viking Voyage. Tell us
okay.
about this one, my friend, as we set it up here.
Well, this was before I wrote the script, so I was thinking zombie way back. I mean, this is a few years old, but yeah. So this is footage that I've shot for kind of ideas and maybe for a live show in the future. And so I've now done futures shows as the zombie apocalypse in the desert in Joshua Tree for corporations that go in the middle of the desert and they have these events.
Mm.
So, and this is just a sort of a promo piece for that. So,
Blake Buchanan says it's actually his daughter, Hallie, under my husband's account, watching this with the kids.
oh
Opie.
God, that was Heidi on the phone.
Oh, is that
That
oh,
was Heidi. That was my
Heidi?
daughter,
And Blake is her
Hallie.
husband.
Oh,
Oh,
excuse
Hallie.
me. That's Hallie.
Hallie, and Heidi was on the
Heidi.
phone.
Heidi was is my wife,
Is Heidi is your wife and Hallie is your daughter,
and
and
Hallie
Blake
was
is her husband.
yeah, and Hallie was calling me
That's
on the
cool.
phone.
Hello, family. Hello,
Hello.
family.
Yeah.
You know what? They're now part of the Jim Masters Show Lovity family too, just like
All
you are,
right.
Marsden. Part of the Jim Masters Show Lovities. We love that. Welcome.
Oh,
Uh,
and I've
that's
made her
cool.
little babies call me uh, Thor's father, Odin.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
when the 2-year-old has to say, she doesn't say Marston or Grandpa. He
Yeah.
says Thor's father, Odin.
Oh, I like that. See you pay heed to a lot of the kids, which I think is great. The other kids said you're Lord of the Cello, and that
Right.
stuck. The kids
Right.
rule. The
Right.
name Marston is so cool too. Is that a family name? Where did Marston come from?
It's an old English name, I
Yeah.
think. My father was a nuclear physicist and worked at Rand Corporation, which is a
Rand,
think
sure.
tank here, a think tank for military and
Yeah.
future of the world, future of space. Anyway,
Yeah.
he was he's passed away.
Yeah.
I'm up there in years, and it was a scholarship, a Marston Hall scholarship at Brown University. That's where the name showed up.
Well, that's cool. Isn't that something?
But my middle name's Chauner, and every first male born since medieval times has the Chauner as the middle name, because the Chauners were assassinated by King James II after a failed coup.
How do you spell it?
Chauner, Chawner.
Very cool.
So they were murdering descendants or family called Chauner.
That's incredible. That's incredible. What a story. Here, yeah. So this here again is you in action. Again, this is really cool. We're gonna play this for everybody and take a look at this as well, and then we will continue. Here you go. Electric cellist finds himself in zombie oblivion. Original song by Marston Smith. Viking Voyage.
God.
Here we go.
It's the same.
Wow, that's incredible. How many? Wow, that really.
That's pretty fun.
And there's all the other episodes of our series that popped up there at the end of the Jim Master Show. Is that Malibu? Is that the Pacific off in the distance there?
Yeah, I always shoot at the top of the hill.
Is that what hill is that? The Topanga Canyon?
Actually, I live in Las Flores Canyon. and that's the top
That's the top.
of Rambla Pacifico, of this mountain,
Beautiful.
what's it called? Mount
We know
Mount
it's
Pacifico.
Pacific.
Yeah, and it has this rock face that goes down like the Eiger, and so if you stand on that, and with that long camera, you can make this crazy scene.
That's incredible. Really, really cool. That's really, really cool. Were they doing that to the beat of the music? The others in there, were they doing that as well?
Uh,
The ones that had those guns that were shooting them off, were they doing that? It looked like they were doing that. It was perfectly timed with the sort of the rhythm and the beat of the music.
oh, that
Just happened to happen that
I
way.
think it's I don't think it was that great. I mean, I don't think it's that sophisticated.
to
No,
have that actually be that
no,
good. Hey,
no.
to the
Yeah,
novice, it was fantastic. Look at Maureen says, I'm in absolute awe of the talent and imagination for your videos. That's Maureen in Arizona,
all right.
Merlin in Canada, lots of claps and hearts. Jane in Sweden, same thing. Toby wants to know, what's the highest elevation you've ever played cello, and does it bother you?
Jeez.
I know
Well,
you're going higher and higher each time. Are we going to see you in
yeah,
Switzerland next, on the
yeah.
Alps?
No, I've never played very high. I don't think. God, I have to think about it. Yeah, because there's no snow up there. I mean, it's 300 feet or maybe 500 feet. It's not much because we're right next to the beach, next to the ocean. So, gosh, where have I
Boy,
played?
it looks so much higher too, when you see it in the actual video, my friend. Hey, look at
Yeah.
this. This is a nice shot. Where was this?
Oh yeah, I was doing cruise ships. So I was a headliner on cruises, and that's Malta. So
Ah, yeah.
the wall is you know began in like the 4th century and maybe finished in the 10th century, but the tower was World War II, a
Mm.
British like lookout tower for uh, anti-aircraft guns.
Oh, really?
So the British owned Malta at that point
Hmm. That's
in
right.
time,
You
and
had
so it's
everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great shot. Look at the sky too, huh?
Oh, but that's an app.
That's Oh, it is.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Where was
Oh,
this?
this is at this fabulous club, event center, kind of Avalon, Hollywood, Avalon,
Hmm. Oh,
and
yeah.
Nicholas French. Um, he's like a hair god.
Oh,
He's
sure.
he does the hair for L'Oreal. He's the creative director for many shows, many
Major
fashion
shows, and
couture
yeah.
shows. So he had me wear uh, silver armor. So the silver armor is metal, not aluminum. So that is really heavy and horrible to have on. And but I realized that the girl next to me is wearing like a chainmail top,
Mm. Ah.
and the girl behind us has these metal spikes in her hair. They're probably
Mm.
aluminum. So it was like his theme, was this silver kind of armor thing,
Very
and he was
cool.
inspired. So Nicholas, it was his oh gosh, it was some sort of award for being what he is, and
Very, very cool.
so he got to choose the music.
Mm. That's a great shot. Look at this one.
Yeah, self-portrait.
Yes. What are you thinking there?
Well, I'm thinking, well, I got 12 suits of armor. Why didn't I use them for backup? But on this wall, that tapestry, there's like 5 suits of armor in a row.
Wow. Mm. That's a very cool shot. Look at this one too.
Oh, that's my friend. This is the Baron Stanislaus Kowalski del Rollo, and for years I've shot him when he has a house in Malibu, and I've been to his castle. He has a castle outside of Rome called I can't think of it right now. Castillo, I don't know, of Love or something. And his father was Balthus, this famous artist that has a wing at the Louvre, and kind of has an eroticism in his thing. But Stash is sort of against my wall of armor,
Mm,
you know.
very, very cool. Look at this one too. This is from that video that we saw earlier. You can really
Yeah,
see some of that action
yeah.
and just the staging and everything.
Hmm.
Now
Oh,
look at this.
these are my sculptures.
These
So
are your sculptures. Yeah.
yeah. So on the male on the left is I put heads on my sculptures, and then it got old to me, so I made this scroll head, and I made this super arm, um, muscular body. So he has this animal nature, and then he speaks the language of music. So
Wow.
it's passion. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what it is. And then
Beautiful work.
this is like a door handle I sell for Abu Dhabi princess, they put on their temples, or I
Hmm.
mean on their palaces. And then this armored unicorn over here, and then a female archer,
Hmm.
squirrelhead.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's fun. So I work in clay, and then I take them and have a mold made, and then cast
Stunning.
them in bronze.
Absolutely incredible work. Look at this too.
Oh, this is my armor wall, and this is Sherry Wheatley. I just used her again last. Yeah, I hire her, to do fire dancing
Hmm.
and lead the stilt walkers, for example. That's really and then uh, Heidi and I went to Dubrovnik, in Croatia,
Yeah.
and this is and so I made a music video, like three, and one was coming down the stairs of shame, and
Hmm.
where
Yes.
Cersei Lannister,
Oh
was
yeah.
nude,
Hmm.
but she had a body double. But I didn't think my body double didn't show up, so I had to do the nude one all myself.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
show must go on, right?
right. But I take that, I take that's a 5-string cello, so it's not heavy,
Yeah.
but I can go and uh, jam with people, like on this island of gosh, there's this Corcula. There's a little island, and it was cannons all around because it had to fight off Napoleon and stuff, right?
Hmm.
And in the evening, with the sun setting, they have a band playing, and I went and played with them, and it was like, oh my god, it was so outrageous. And then you have this tourist group in these bleachers, and they're elderly,
Hmm.
coming in on yachts, on great yachts,
Hmm.
and they were fun to talk to at dinner. And I invited them all, at where we were,
Incredible.
and it was really fun to do
Do
that.
you have your own cello line? Do you design cellos at all too, or um, any of that? Is there a Marsden line of cellos anywhere, or is that
No.
something you've thought of?
Oh, thought of it. Yeah, thought of it. Yeah, but I have a NS design cello that's going to replace this one. This one's so friggin' heavy, and but um, in order to find positions, I have a nail here that's chopped, and a peg here, and a button here. So I have to modify that one. But as you get older, your technique has to change the way you play an instrument, whether it's piano or whatever it is. And because your body, you can't do what you used to do, like stretch your hand like this, because it's destructive. Your hand has to look like this. So if all your hands just look like this all the time, it's perfect. So you do this. That's you don't do this. That's how you learn to play like that. But You don't. You play like this. You just so everything has to change. Anyway,
Do you also teach? Do you also instruct others as well? Young minds coming up?
gosh, I'm just so busy.
Doing the work.
Yeah, I'm rewriting the screenplay. I have another one I want to do. So I want to do like 5 hours a day writing. I want to do 5 hours a day composing. I want to do 5 hours a day sculpting. I want to do 5 hours a day. You know, it's like,
yes, you have all this.
I can't do 5. If you do 2 hours a day, it doesn't seem to work.
Right, and it's rushed. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's another great shot. Look at that.
Yeah. That photographer up in San Luis Obispo, I think, Slow Photography, SLO. Oh, and this is at that same party with Nicholas French. But the guy that we're seeing is a super famous guy, but I don't remember his name. Nicholas is sort of covered. I'm sort of standing in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was really great. The women all screamed when I played, you know.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
Sounds and
you'll see the video somewhere online, and it's like they scream, his hair, you know, and with the wind, and they start screaming about it.
It's incredible.
It was really fun.
Yeah,
and that's zombie.
That's
treatment.
really cool, and the sculptures too. I mentioned Star Wars being in Star Wars: The Next Generation. Tell us about that, Sarek.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, the Sarek. Well, so the video is all around too.
Yeah.
If you look it up, you can't play it though. It'll cut the music out. But I think I have it. Okay, so that's a sidelining gig, but it's your featured sort of person. So it's a really good. It was really fun to do it because you had to go do the, the week before, get fitted. They had to make you the thing.
But to actually be a part of Star Trek: The Next Generation must have been very cool for you, huh?
Yeah, and you're a science officer. So if I ever got called back, and they would have to kill me, because that's just what they did to science officers.
Yeah.
But it was really fun, and I was trying to teach. Gosh, what do you call that guy? The actor who's playing violin? Data.
Oh yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I kept trying to tell Data, your hands just have to just look normal.
Yeah.
And if you could stand up, if you could sit up straight, and oh my God.
Yeah.
No direction. He did nothing, But myself and the violinist are both players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Data and the other guy are not players.
Just learning along the way. Very, very cool to be a part of.
Well,
that.
yeah, you're just bowing with the sound, the playback.
Is there something else that you wanted to treat us with while you're positioned there? They're loving this.
Oh, geez.
You could surprise us, whatever.
3-2-5. Let me try this. 3-2-5.
Play that in the lottery, folks. Tomorrow, play 3-2-5, box and straight. It may come out. Might be a lucky number.
All right.
Very nice.
So, in the beginning, there was only one word. Hum. Like, honey, you gonna take out the trash? Hum. You going to work? H-U-M. You hungry? All right. You'll see in a second. My Felix legions are right here. Oh, upward. Oh, 3, 4. Oh, watch me. Oh, they never watch. They never watch. Whether it's the army of the north, where it's my islanders, or Spartans, or Apopolites. And the earth shifts on its axis. Right there. Did you hear it? The earth shifted. Here we go. Sing along. Wait. Watch me. 3, 4. Yeah.
Oh, they're all saying it. That's cool. That is really, really cool.
Yeah. I mean, if the audience is really into it,
They are. They've been
it's really
typing it
fun.
in their comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it hum or
I don't know.
That's it.
It's the one word that means
See,
everything.
Maureen's retired. Now she could write that. Merlin's loving it too. And Terry Ann says, wow, absolutely beautiful. Really, really cool stuff. I wanted to mention too that you've also worked with Air Supply and Elton John as well. I mean, again, tell us about some of those incredible experiences.
Yeah. Air Supply was pretty cool. I was sitting at like Taco Bell, and a guy comes up to me, and I was wearing black. I think I had my cello because I was driving the Porsche, and I didn't want to leave it in a Porsche. And
Porsche with the
convertible.
turbo.
Well, convertible, yeah.
Yeah.
And and he goes, "So you're a musician? Can I ask you for some string players for this gig at the amphitheater, or was it at the well, it was an outdoor concert.
Probably like a big amphitheater type place. Yeah.
But it wasn't the Greek theater. It was the one at Universal, I think.
Mm.
But I'm not sure. So it turned out it was Air Supply, and I had my they didn't have any string charts, so I had my violinist, my first violinist, a guy named Jim Sitterly. He was the fiddler in my band in college at UC Santa Barbara, and now he's writing charts for Madonna and all sorts of different string charts. Very, very, very specific thing. And so he wrote the charts, and we showed up, and I hired Roxanne. This was a violist, and she was a couple years older than us, but had been around the world with Bob Hope on those military
when
tours.
They would go overseas to support and entertain the troops. Yeah.
And she would tell us that she would go on the ship and she'd lift her shirt and 10,000 guys would scream. And so she was a trip. And then we had a cute little blonde, and we had so much fun, playing the gig, and they always introduced us as the G strings. It was kind of, I think Jim was sort of a card, so he probably said, "What's your name? What's the group's called?" And the G strings. That's how he always say stuff, And he was kind of a fun guy in my life. I don't know if I showed you pictures, but we would do. We were the Saddle Sores, the world's worst country western band, and so we opened for Greg Kinnear when he had his show.
Greg Kinnear, when he had was it Talk Soup? When he had that show, I know he did Talk Soup on.
Did he have he had a regular talk show?
Then he had another talk show too, right?
It was really short.
I think Talk Soup was before that. Yeah,
right. But I played a stand-up bass, and I'd spin it around, and I would Chuck Berry it across the thing, and Jim would play fiddle, and it was like a trip to be the Saddle Sores.
That's incredible.
And
but like I said, Elton John, and even that too, huh?
Just a session. Let's see what else. Somebody like Dolly Parton was the best, because she would say, "Pick me up, boys, and take a picture."
Yeah.
So I got to pick her up, and we'd all take a picture with her. Like 20 sessions.
Yeah.
Oh, and another person like that, Tina Turner was like that.
Tina Turner, yeah.
What a trip!
Incredible,
so that wasn't a session. That was a movie. So there was like movies like the Sinatra Story, a miniseries.
I was going to say, tell us, some of the movies that you've worked on that people might recall. The names of some of the movies.
Brewster's Millions. Brewster has to spend some millions of dollars before they want to prove that he could spend it, or I don't know what the story was anymore. And he's in a fancy restaurant, and he goes, "Do you want what's the best dinner?" And they go, "Well, lobster Rockefeller." "Oh, does everybody want lobster Rockefeller?" And everybody goes, "Yeah." "And what's your most expensive bottle of wine?" "Well, that's the Rothschild's 1947. "Do you guys want a Rothschild?" And they all scream. And then the next note is me and my quartet doing da 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 da. Scott Joplin. So that was a cute one.
Very cool.
And then there was a wedding in the movie called Alligator, and the alligator came and ate us. We were all set up for the wedding. There's like 100. There's
incredible.
Medicine Woman. So I had lamb chop, things like this, and we were in the bar scene, and there's like 100 movies that I was in.
Isn't that incredible when you think about it?
Yeah. Well, because In those
Yeah.
days, yeah.
In those
And
days, yeah, it was
I
very
lived a
busy.
long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I mean, I came across the country in a stagecoach. Not quite, not quite.
Yeah. You
But
discovered the wild, wild west. You settled it.
right, right. The world's changed like crazy.
It took you so long. You were a jet black brunette on the
Right,
East Coast.
right, right. And now I'm like
Now you're a silver
technology.
fox on the West Coast.
There you go. That's right, right.
Why do you love what you do so much? Why does this bring you such blessing and joy? You've been doing this for so long, as you're saying. You've had your hands and feet and everything in all aspects of it, and have been called upon for, again, working with major artists, films, live shows, productions, background studio session music, all of it.
Yeah.
Why do you still love this, and how does it really, what brings you that inspiration and blessing and joy in your life?
Well, it's what's the next gig, It's like um it was so exciting and an effort this last December 12th at the Mission Inn, this colossal massive show, with my stilts, with aerialists, with Don McLeod being the statue and the dancer guy, and just all of that for my friend Tiffany. And that was an amazing thing. And if I can have one of those every year,
Yeah.
something that's just you can't sleep at night, because I had to build a harpsichord prop, and I decided to take a heavy duty fog machine and run an 8-inch hose up into the belly of the harpsichord so it would come out.
Okay.
That harpsichord that you saw
Sure.
in that winged thing,
And
that
yes,
has the, to fill up the stage, it had to fill up the harpsichord first. So things like that are
very cool.
that are really fun.
Mm.
And so I'm gonna shoot my stilt walkers soon with this apocalyptic costumes that I've made, and hopefully get to do a big show.
I was going to say, anything coming up? What's coming up on the horizon for you, Marston, that you might want to share with us that we can look out for?
I'm doing a concert in Beverly Hills at the Sophie Hotel. It's in my it's on my Lord of the Cello page in
On your
Instagram
website?
or Facebook or
Lord
Marston
of the
Smith.
Cello. Yeah.
And that's the power of strings. So
Oh, wow.
it's
That
I
sounds
think
really cool.
it's got sort of a healing content in it, because there's it's a show with a number of string players,
Very cool.
and but there's also some doctor that sort of hosts it and stuff. So maybe
Very cool.
maybe that's where we're gonna become immortal.
Somebody was asking if you find that secret, certainly come back and share it with us here on the show. Can they buy your sculptures? Is there somewhere they can buy the actual sculptures? I think Terry Ann was.
Yeah, there's Marston Smith art on Etsy, on eBay. There's on Facebook, it's Malibu Sculptor, I think. It should be Marston Smith art too, but I don't know.
They just type in Marston Smith. All of this it comes up. And Lord of the Cello too. It's amazing what comes up with that.
Right.
Some
of my sculptures are big.
They're huge, right? So
so they're expensive. I mean, but they're a deal.
But they're one of a kind. Yeah.
Because just splitting the cost between the foundry and me. So if it's if the foundry is $10,000, then it's 20. So it's not like a gallery, because the gallery would want another 20, so it'd be 40.
Right. So
So
it's like you're cutting out the middleman.
yeah, it's a deal. It's a deal.
Are there things on your bucket list that you still would love to do, of all these incredible things that you still do and have done,
Mhm.
that places you'd like to perform, people you'd love to perform with, or just other things that you would love to master or just be a part of?
Bigger concerts.
Bigger concerts. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my agents lives in India, Rekha, and she got me a gig at the literary festival. So there's 500,000 people that come. It's for a week.
Wow.
500, and there's
500,000.
1,000 Nobel laureates
Yeah.
of Asia. So it's different Asian minds come and speak.
Yes. Yeah.
And she had it set so I would ride in with a gigantic elephant, like and playing my cello, and then Heidi and I would get married. I'd come off the elephant, and a chariot would come with 6 horses, 6 stallions, and we would be married on stage. That was the kind of the big plan. And then I don't know what happened. You know, oh, part of the thing is the Indian government doesn't pay outside talent. You have to be like the Rolling Stones. I mean, Mick Jagger was the MC one year, but they have a plane full of gear, and so they can just haul that there, and they get good karma. But they would have me play and perform a few times, and they would give me a 6-star hotel. They have these fabulous hotels. So anyway,
Very nice.
it didn't happen, by the way.
Close.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
Very, very close.
That's the music business.
That is the music business.
I did a few times QVC.
Oh, the QVC shopping channel?
Same deal. Who is my friend? John O'Hurley played piano in those 3 album sets, and we made $100,000 or $150,000 in 7 minutes. And but what happens is half of the money goes to QVC.
Yes.
And the other half of the money it's split. The ad agency gets a cut. So there has to be an interface that takes the lawsuits. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we split the other in thirds. So it was John, his money, and me. His money meaning he paid for the CDs and shipped them. Right. Yeah. So it's him, his money, and me. And we stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in Philly and ran up a bill, and we lost money. But we made $150,000. But we made
$150,000.
But in 7 minutes.
It is amazing. I have some friends that are hosts there, and and I went to some of those auditions as well. It's they got to sell. They got to keep moving, and so my friends are longtime hosts there. But I like the way you use the word. You got to have that interface. Right. The interface. Yeah, that interface works hard too. Now, those CDs, what were they? It was you doing instrumental and John on the piano, or?
Yeah, John and piano.
Are they still available? Is there a place people can go to get your music?
You have to buy those from John O'Hurley.
So John has them. But do you have any CDs out of your own or anything that?
Yeah, I have lots. So iTunes, what is it now? Is it
there's iTunes, there's Spotify, and Apple, Apple iTunes, Spotify, and
it's all there.
So just put in Marston Smith or Lord of the Cello.
Marston Smith,
and That's cool. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of our audience is very, very proactive, and I'm sure they're seeking your music all the way and going to be scooping it up, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. So the album I played today, most of it was Zombie Oblivion.
So that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
John O'Hurley, feel free. I'd love to welcome him as a guest on the show and have a chat about especially being a host myself in television, radio, the hosting side of what he's done. Feel free to let him know he's welcome to join us for a chat if he'd like.
Oh, I'll mention it to him because he
does
a solo show, a solo singing show with a pianist, and
that's fantastic.
And he loves it. And
love to have him as a guest on the show.
And that would be, he promote it that way, sort of.
Yeah, to tell people about the show. Exactly.
Right.
Well, this has been fantastic, my friend. Do you know we chatted for almost 2 hours?
Holy crap. How long are we supposed to go? Joe Rogan does 3. Don't we have another one?
Actually, yes. We had Scott Schwartz on, and I use that as a reference. He was the actor in Christmas Story.
Right.
And The Toy with Jackie Gleason and Richard Pryor.
Right.
He had a lot to say, and it was a fabulous. I mean, it's like people say I should enter these shows into the Guinness Book of online records or whatever here, but 6 hours he went.
Oh, geez.
Could you imagine? That would be your left hand would be numb about now holding that beautiful cello up there.
Right.
If you can, is there a way to raise that cello and just show us and describe it a little bit?
Yeah. Well, this is let me see if I can unscrew it. Yeah, so this is this pickup is there's a silicon chip in a plate of metal, and in that plate is 2 pickups per string, and they're at right angles. So when I hit the string, it'll hit, and that's tuned to a frequency 1 octave higher. So, and when you bow it, it's the octave that I've tuned the string to. And this was made by McGlish, this bridge. And he was living in a jungle in Costa Rica, and you had to have his daughter call him to make these. And he'd make these bridges for Kiss, for Sting, just people that knew what this was. And then this cello, has the 6 strings, and we did the top like this because it went with my gold armor. So the cello was made for that. And so it was a weapon. And the wood here is actually palm wood. So it's very heavy. And anyway, that's the story of this thing.
That's a beautiful, beautiful instrument. It's amazing that narrow piece there can produce such phenomenal sound. I would imagine you are appreciative of Itzhak Perlman, Yo-Yo Ma, and some of the other masters as well, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I studied with Greenhouse, so
yeah.
All those guys are in the same boat.
Yes.
They were consummate concertos.
Yeah. You know who I also enjoy is David Darling.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know David Darling? Yeah.
Yeah, with the Paul Winters group.
Yes. He's got some beautiful haunting cello music on some of his work as well. Really, really fantastic stuff. Hey, I wanted to show you there's somebody here that just wanted to pop in and say he thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Mr. George Burns is with us.
Oh, hey, man.
Haven't had a chance to play with George Burns when he was around, did you?
I'd shake your hand. That cigar isn't lit, is it?
No, the cigar. Oh boy, the studio here would be on fire. But you do see that cigar there, right? Yeah. He's here.
All right. Oh man, you can't take him anywhere.
You can't take him anywhere. I know he's doing a little soft shoe here on the bottom. He's amazing, and he says that he had a great time with you tonight.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
We throw him in at the end just as a little surprise for our guests.
All right.
This was really cool, my friend. Thanks for spending all this
Right.
time with us and, getting a chance to really learn about you and your extraordinary career and why you love what you do. You're a master at it, and you really are somebody who, has provided so much incredible music. I just want to show you some of the comments from our viewers, or as we call them, our JMS Live Lovity audience. Maureen in Arizona says, this has indeed been such a fabulous evening. And so many of our shows are. It just turns out this way. And that's what I love about doing live shows. My heart is happy after hearing your beautiful music, Marston. And I enjoyed hearing all your stories. Stay well. Kathleen in New York City says, very interesting instrument. Not the cello that I'm used to seeing, but really nice. It is, yeah, because most are used to seeing the big wooden, one, and the electric is really, really a fantastic one. Toby, of course, Marston, thanks. Love your craft. Absolutely. I thank you very much, Toby, and I agree 100%. And everybody just commenting here with these beautiful words. Thank you, gang. You guys are really the best. This was terrific, and I hope the show met, Marston, whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I certainly have with you.
I really did. Really had fun.
This was terrific, and we will definitely keep the porch light on for you. And I hope, I think so. I think they were asking if you were going to be doing anything on the East Coast anytime soon, or planning to. I think your daughter asked that question.
Oh yeah. Really?
They're on the East Coast.
Yeah, in Connecticut.
Okay,
I definitely will do the Sail Fest in New London.
When?
It's in the summer. It's like July 4th.
Yes.
There's a fireworks
I used
thing.
to work at radio stations and TV stations out that way, and I used to go to the big sail. What part of Connecticut are they in?
New London. Oh, they're in Milford.
Oh, Milford, yes. Milford.
Yeah, Blake is a helicopter guy.
Sikorsky, yes, in Stratford there over the
so
the
he's
bridge.
An engineer there, and Hallie has 2 little kids.
Wow.
They call me. What do they call me?
Yeah, what do they call you? Say it again.
Thor's father.
Thor's father.
Odin, yeah.
Odin and Lord of the Cello.
Right.
That is really cool.
Right.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, my friend. This was really, really outstanding. Really, really cool. I appreciate all the time and all the great stories and all the music. And you really are, a blessing. And you obviously love what you do. And Mona, who's watching in Louisiana, good music in New Orleans, that's for sure. Thank you so very much, and come back and see us again soon. So relaxing, truly enjoyed it. Mona, it's good to see you with us again, Mona, as well. And Toby says, break bread for sure. We will. Let me know when you're here on the East Coast.
Yes,
I'd love to come see you.
Yeah.
Because not far, here in the New York area. So
yeah,
cool stuff. Thanks, my friend. It was a pleasure, and we'll chat again soon, okay?
All right. Excellent.
All right. You take care, Marston. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Jim.
Bye-bye now. Cheers.
Ciao.
Extraordinary, huh? Wow. What a master talent. And again, he has worked with some of the incredible greats in the industry. We talked about Air Supply. We talked about Elton John and Barry Manilow and Tina Turner and the Pointer Sisters and Dolly Parton and Michael Jackson. And wow. And of course, he himself has his own repertoire of fabulous music as well. Really great. And the whole zombie thing that he's doing is kind of intriguing, isn't it? I got a chance to learn a little bit about that, which maybe many of you didn't even know about, which I think is kind of cool, huh? That's something that happens on the Jim Master Show Live. We always learn something new together. We always have a good time. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up like. We would love your like. On our YouTube channel, you'll see it there. It's a little thumbs up button. Definitely give us that thumbs up and leave a comment on the YouTube channel itself. Underneath the episode, before you go, make sure you leave a comment on the YouTube channel, because what happens is YouTube sees that and then they blast this episode out further, and it helps us big time. So do that for us, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV as well. Boy, would we love that. That helps us out. There's no cost for that. And click that notification bell. We've done over 630 of these episodes since we launched this incredible series live called the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series back in May 2020. And it just continues to grow, and it continues to bowl me over too, gang. All these great guests and all this energy and all these comments coming in. You guys are really the best. Thank you so very much. Love you all. Great show, Jim. Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen in New York City and Maureen. This show tonight, just wow. Wonderful conversation, amazing music. Thank you so much, Jim. My pleasure as well, Maureen. Toby says, wow, bam, pow, zamboom. I think that's an episode of Batman, isn't it? Bow, bing, bing. Cool stuff. You guys are the best. Thanks for being with us, gang. Again, you can check him out online, iTunes, Spotify, Marston Smith, also Lord of the Cello. Just want to let you know, we've got some amazing people coming up. Wait till, you know what? Well, I won't tell you right away. We'll roll through a little list of some of the folks that are coming up, and then I will tell you there's somebody. Well, I'm excited about all these guests, but somebody that's sort of in my line of work, or is a legend in my line of work, that is coming on the show. Let's see. Tomorrow we have Scott Evan Davis, multi-award-winning composer and lyricist. He's joining us tomorrow. That is Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific live. Then on Friday, from Gossip Girl, he played Frank Meltzer on Gossip Girl. My buddy, he's actually a close personal friend. He's an extraordinary film producer. Matter of fact, he just had a movie debut last week. A really cool screening for a new movie that's out that he produced. Actor and film producer David Gear is going to be with us. On Saturday, Tara McNeil from Celtic Woman. She's the fiddler, violinist, singer, and harpist with the extraordinary Celtic Woman. On Monday, actress and author Blanca Blanco. She's amazing. She has this book out, Breaking the Mold. She talks about experiencing poverty, racism, COVID, bullying, all of it. Immigration. She went through it, and her family went through it all. They're originally from Mexico. They live in California. She's been on a lot of shows, TV shows, movies. She's got a very inspiring story she's going to share with us on Monday. We're very, very excited about that. That's going to be fantastic. Do you know that coming up next week as well, we also have Wink Martindale, the legendary TV game show host that you know from High Rollers, Gambit, Tic-Tac-Doe, of course, legendary American DJ and radio host. His lovely wife, Sandra, who dated Elvis Presley for 6 years. She was Elvis Presley's girlfriend for 6 years. She's going to tell us some cool stories about that as well. Wink and Sandy are going to be with us coming up next Thursday. Again, Wink Martindale, you've seen him on some of your favorite game shows from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Legendary TV game show host. Very excited, and his lovely wife Sandy are going to be with us on Thursday next week. Then we have another incredible legend, acclaimed jazz trumpeter Scotty Barnhart is coming to our show. He's also the director of the Count Basie Orchestra. He is a legend. He's going to play live for us as well. He's going to be with us coming up Friday of next week. These two here are breaking news. Wink Martindale and Sandra Martindale, they're breaking news, and Scotty Barnhart. These are all just recently joining us here as guests on the Jim Master Show Live. If you have been hearing all the buzz about the new movie on Hulu, Pam and Tommy, about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, Jennifer was on our show maybe about a week and a half ago. She's a brilliant actress, NFL cheerleader, and she stars in Hulu's new movie, Pam and Tommy, that everybody's buzzing about. It's trending. You can see that interview, that conversation with Jennifer right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. She was just with us about a week or so ago, and it was a great conversation. Did you ever see the episode when Broadway actor, singer from Jersey Boys, and also Bat Boy on Broadway, Devin May, was with us? Check that out. Rebecca Harkin, Irish singer-songwriter, was a guest on our show. Sister of Keith Harkin from Celtic Thunder. Yes. Did you ever see when Alexis Chevalier, actor, playwright, and screenwriter, was with us live from Paris? He is the great-grandnephew of film legend Maurice Chevalier. He was with us as well. Did you see that? Did you see when Ethan Slater was with us, who played SpongeBob in SpongeBob SquarePants on Broadway and so much more? Yeah, he was with us too for an epic conversation. He's also a writer and composer and musician. And David Becker, Grammy and Emmy-nominated jazz guitarist David Becker, was with us recently too. Check that episode out too if you didn't see that episode. Just a little round robin there of some of the many, many, many guests who have come through and stopped by the Jim Masters Show live. And you know what's cool about this show? Our guests come from all backgrounds. You know, some shows, the guests are just all of the same ilk, the same topic, the same theme. We have guests that come in from every aspect of life, from Broadway and television, music, film, comedy, food, sports, inspiration, everything. So that's what's great about this show. You know, if you want Hollywood legends or former child stars, or you want chefs or athletes or authors or musicians or what have you, we welcome them all to the Jim Masters Show Live. That's why we call this an all-encompassing entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series, kind of like Johnny Carson and Steve Allen and Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, Ellen, Regis, or Ryan and Kelly, those kinds of things, where the guests come from screen and television and music, from every aspect of life. That's what we do. So when you watch us, it's a real breath of incredible, incredible things that we talk about. And sometimes we just have shows. We had Halloween shows. We've done fun Valentine's shows, St. Patrick's Day shows, Christmas shows. Go back in time and see the St. Patrick's Day show that we did, where this whole set was green. I had a green sweater on, a green hat, and it was all St. Patrick's Day. Or Valentine's Day, which is coming up. This whole set was red. I had a martini. We did all Valentine's stuff. It was really, really cool. Hey, Kathleen Walker in New York City, thanks for the super sticker. I love that. Look at that nice royal blue color. Very cool. Thank you very much. That helps support our show. And you can do that when the show is live, super stickers, super chat. It's a feature in chat when we're live. If you miss doing that, and thanks to all of you who do that, because that really helps support our show. And thank you, Kathleen, you're a gem. You can, if you miss doing it when the show's live, there is a little heart icon on the YouTube channel underneath each episode. And it's a little heart icon that says thanks. If you click that, you can help support our series as well, and all the work and expense that goes into it, which is significant. Hours and hours and hours. Sometimes I even forget to eat food because I do this series and then I work full time in television and radio. So sometimes it's a real balancing act, a real Cirque du Soleil here at the Jim Masters Show Live. Jim, thanks for this fantastic or fascinating, entertaining show, and fantastic with Marston. An excellent episode. Great being together again. Music was incredible tonight. See you all soon. Good night, Jim, and all hugs to you as well. Christine, again, reminding everybody that tomorrow we've got multi-award-winning composer and lyricist Scott Evan Davis coming on Thursday, and that's going to be a great show as well. He's all excited, and he's an internet star and all kinds of cool stuff. So that's really, really great. Thanks for the comments, gang. We love all of you. Jane says you are welcome back, Marston. Yes, he is. And so are all of you. I welcome you back on our next episode. We'll be here waiting for you. We'll keep the porch light on for you guys as well. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thanks so much for being with us, taking a look at more of these comments coming in. We appreciate all of this levity, and we appreciate all of you. You guys be well. Take care of one another. It's always a blessing to have you here. We always have a good time. Night to all lovelies, and Mr. Lovely right back at you in North Carolina. And Maureen says, sending love and lovely hugs all around the world. Thank you very much, Maureen. We'll take that. We'll beam that out even further to the rest of the globe. Don't forget to leave a comment, gang, on our YouTube channel itself, in the comment section on our YouTube channel. That helps us beam these episodes out further as well. So it's a big, big help. Again, if you want to see this episode again, you can on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. You have a good night, good day, good morning, whatever time it is, wherever you're watching around the world. We thank you for being with us. We'll see you on the next episode of the Jim Masters Show live. We love you all. Be well. Take care. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.